Hi, this is Dr. Samir Dalwai. I am a developmental behavioral pediatrician from New Horizons Child Development Center from Nanavati Hospital and Hinduja Healthcare. And I'm very happy to be here associated with BabyChakra. This is the second meeting that we are having online for all our viewers. And I thank BabyChakra for this opportunity, and I'm very happy to be here with all of you. So shall we proceed to have the questions now? So what we'll do is I'll read out the questions, and whoever's asked the question, the name of the person, and I'll try and answer the questions, and you can keep sending in your questions as well. All right, so the first question is from Tanu Bansal, who wants to know, how do I improve overall development in accordance to my child's age? So that's the question. How do I improve overall development in accordance to my child's age? Now, the issue about development, which we all understand, is development is the achievement of skills and functions that your child gets sequentially after birth. That's the development of the child. Whereas growth is just an increase in the physical diameter, the physical parameters of the child, like increase in weight, increase in height, increase in the size of the head, chest. That is growth. Development is the child learning and acquiring new skills and new functions over a period of time, like learning to sit, learning to stand, learning to walk, learning to speak single words first, then two-word sentences, three-word sentences, then learning alphabets, then learning words. So this is development. What we must understand is it's in a sequence, and you can't change the sequence, because unless a child can sit very well, he can never stand very well. And practice can only help you get it a little faster, but it can't help you bypass the steps in the sequence. And hence, the sequence is age appropriate. What a child is expected to learn and develop at 6 months is of course different from what is expected at 9 months and then at 1 year. So what we need to understand is whether our child's development is according to the age and the child at which the child is. It can't be exactly to the date. So it's always in a range. It can be 2 to 3 months. For example, the child starts sitting with support anytime after 6-7 months and may take up to 8-9 months to sit independently. Some children sit by 10 months independently. Then he'll start standing with support, and he'll start being able to stand independently by 12 months. Some children are able to stand independently even by 8 or 10 months. Some may take even a little longer. So this is always a range, because every child's situation and genetics and the environment is different. So how can you improve overall development according to his age is allow the child to have as much exposure as possible. Because there are two factors which look at development. One is the biology or the genetics or the nature of the child, so to speak. And the second is the nurture or the environment or the stimulation. What is the situation that the child is getting to learn in? So for example, if there is a baby who's being carried around by 10 people in the house, you have many relatives, you have people working in the house, this baby is never being allowed to be put on the ground. This baby is obviously going to sit a little later, stand a little later, walk a little later, because he hasn't had the opportunity. Whereas you may have a child born on the street, as it were, and well, there's nobody to look after the child. That's not good. But one of the things that will happen if everything goes well is he'll perhaps start sitting a little earlier, standing a little earlier, walking a little earlier, because he's been given all this exposure. Now, the other factor that also matters, and hence we must remember it's not only one factor, it's also nutrition. So perhaps your baby is getting very good nutrition. Of course, the child on the street or from a poor house will not get that nutrition. So though he may have a lot of stimulation or a need to stand early, he may not, because his body is not strong enough. Whereas in your house, your baby may be getting all the food but not enough stimulation to stand, so he'll stand it later. In your house, again, maybe he's getting too much nutrition, and this baby is being put on the floor, not being carried around. But like I said, the nutrition is too much. He's overweight, as happens very often now. That's another reason why he's not going to develop and sit as easily as a more nimble, slimmer baby, because this guy has to carry much more weight to sit up. So the whole idea is keep talking to your child, keep playing with your child, keep having fun with your child, keep interacting with your child. The more you do that, the more you play with your child in the old-fashioned, good old-fashioned way, the better it is. One thing that you should not do is don't expose your child to too many gadgets, or rather any gadgets at all. The American Academy of Pediatrics and now the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, which I represent, also says that do not give any electronic gadgets to your children for the first 2 years of life. Well, is that happening? Perhaps not at all. But that's very important, because unless the child gets a lot of physical interaction and gets a lot of time to have his physical activities, his development is going to get a little behind. So make sure, do it the old-fashioned way, play with your child, give a lot of time to your child, have fun, get your family involved. That's it. Okay. All right, so this is an interesting question which I quite like. And it's again, well, Tanu Bansal, my son doesn't mix up with his first cousins as he should, as all love him immensely. What should I do? Now, see, this is a tricky question. What do you mean that he doesn't mix up with his cousins? Because one is, I don't get what age he is, but perhaps I'm imagining he should be about 1 year of age. So when you say he doesn't mix, what do you mean? Is he able to look at them? Is he able to recognize them? Is he able to smile back at them? Is he able to reach out his hands when they put out his hands to him? Is he able to wave bye-bye to them? Is he able to understand when they do like this to him? Is he able to understand all of this? If he's able to do all of this, and perhaps he's not really wanting to spend much time interacting with them, then that's fine. But you see whether his ability to interact is there or not. Very often it happens that you may meet your cousins once in a year and the child hasn't seen them before. So there's also a little bit of stranger anxiety around 8, 9, 10 months of age. The child's been used to only a mom or a caretaker and parents at home. So he's obviously afraid of a newcomer. So when you say he's not mixing, I would say the first thing is give him plenty of time to mix with them. Have a lot of interaction exposed to them. And initially you need to be there with the baby, with the cousins, with other people. You need to be there with the child. And gradually when the child sees you being comfortable with them, the child sees that you don't see them as a threat, you're comfortable with them, then gradually he's going to get comfortable. So I would say at this moment, from your question, it seems, I would suggest just do this much. Okay, so this is a question from Deep, who says how to discipline a child who won't listen and back answers sometimes. So how do you discipline a child who won't listen and tease you and back answers sometimes? Well, that's the absolutely a normal child to have, I guess. But since I'm a doctor, I'm always going to worry about things and rule out some problems. So when you say you won't listen, that kind of is a red flag to me. And I want to know whether he doesn't listen means आपकी बात नहीं मानता है, whatever you tell him, he doesn't follow that willingly, or he can't hear. So that's the first question that you must answer, that he can hear, he doesn't want to do it, because sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. And if you have ever a doubt, let me repeat this, if you ever as a parent or as an uncle or an aunt or a guardian doubt that a child may not be listening, hearing, don't think twice, please get a hearing test. Because there are children who may have almost 50% hearing impairment, but still will be able to interact with you, because some children actually lip read, some children understand what you want them to say, some children have by-hearted answers, so they may not hear it perfectly, but yet they may not come across as children with a hearing problem. So if you have in doubt, don't look at the child and decide, because you can't look at a child and decide whether he has a hearing problem or not. Actually, go ahead and get it tested. Now let's imagine when Deep asks us this question, his child is absolutely fine with hearing, there's no problem, but he won't listen, which means that he won't follow your commands, and he will tease you and back answer sometimes. If it's like a 3-year-old child or 2-year-old child, that's great. So I'm sure he is understanding, and as we know, for the first year of life, the child is completely a mama's boy. By that I mean that he's going to do whatever the parents tell him to do. He's absolutely going to be the apple of everybody's eyes. But as the child gets smarter, as time goes by, he gets 1 year, 1.5 years, he realizes, hey, why am I listening to everybody? Mama says, come here, I go there. Mama says, take this, I take it. Mama says, keep this, I'm keeping it. Why mama. How about mama listening to me? Why don't other people listen to me? Why isn't everybody else following what I want? Why not? I mean, that's obviously a sign of an intelligence developing in a child. All of us, when we get better off in life, we want others to follow what we say. And that's exactly what your baby is doing at 1.5 years. And that's why you get into this phase where this baby now wants to stop doing what you tell him, wants you to do what he wants you to do. And this leads to a lot of frustration and temper tantrums because he will not do what you want him to do and he's going to throw a tantrum. That means he's demonstrating his anger. How dare you not listen to my wishes? And that's perfectly bang on normal, which is expected to happen by 1.5 years of age, which is why we even have this age-old term called terrible twos. That's brilliant and that's normal because this is a child who is trying to find out autonomy, he's trying to find out his own confidence and his own control over the environment and power. So this is a normal thing which is developing. The point here is you should not allow him to think that this is normal. By that I mean, उसको ये मत सोचने दीजिए कि हाँ दुनिया मेरे हिसाब से चलेगी. He's trying to do that because now he's trying to find out what he can control. But the message must be very clear कि भैया everything doesn't go according to what you want. So this is a time when parents also have to change track. The first year, the child is doing whatever you say. Second year, now he's throwing tantrums. He wants to do his own thing. You need to tell him, yes, in certain limits, certain things, we can do the way you want. But we can't do everything the way you want because guess what? The world is not designed to do everything you want. So you better get this message very clearly that whatever you want, some things you may get, very often, most of the things you will not get. And this is right now the time to get this sense or the understanding to the kid that everything doesn't happen according to the way I want. So it's very important to say no very firmly. Means once you say no, it's no. And say no consistently. So if you have said no to gadgets and the mobile phone, it has to be always a no. It can't be no on the day you're in a bad mood. And yes, you can watch the mobile on the day you're in a good mood. That's consistency from yourself. Then, how about consistency between different caregivers? So maybe the mother says no mobile, the dada says yes, please watch the mobile. This is going to create a confusion in the child's mind because understand this. The child is, let me say, like a new employee who joined your household or your office or your company. He doesn't know what are the rules of your office. And guess what? The mother and the father or the husband and wife are running the company. So the husband says reporting time is 9 a.m. in the morning. And the wife says, no, reporting time can be till 10 o'clock in the morning. He's going to leave the poor employees confused. And even if he comes at 10 and the husband scolds him, he's going to get angry with the husband. Why the hell are you scolding me? I came at 10. I was told I can come at 10. This is exactly what happens to the child. He doesn't understand what he needs to do, what you want him to do. And then when you scold him, he'll understand why you're scolding him. So he gets angrier and frustrated because of no fault of his. He's getting shouted at, which nobody likes. So it's very important to understand that we have to consistently have the same message to our child. So the child will obviously throw a tantrum, but over a period of time, he'll bang his head, he'll scream, shout. Says, mommy says, no means no. Okay. There's no point. All this drama won't help. Why do all this drama? I bang my head, it hurts me. It doesn't seem to hurt her at all. So let me stop doing this. And that's how the child learns what we call good behavior. And hence it's very essential for us to remember that it's in our hands how we discipline the kid. By discipline, I want to suggest that the fact that the child understands that certain things are permissible at certain times, but some other things may not be permissible at all. So that's the way we get our child trained to follow and interact with us and to then be able to go to school and do it. That's another common issue. At home, the child gets whatever he wants. The father, the mother, everybody wants to pamper him, the grandparents want to pamper him. Then this kid directly goes to school. And he'll expect the teacher to come and open his bag and serve him his tiffin box, which he's used to at home. But the teacher is not going to do it. And then the kid is going to go tantrum there. And the teacher calls you and says, hey, look, this is what the kid is doing in the class. And you say, what are you talking at home? You have no complaints. Because at home, you are doing everything to the child. So I call this the Nawab syndrome. The Nawab syndrome. Because your child is a Nawab at home. But in school, guess what? He's just any other kid. So the kid doesn't understand this. He's going to throw a tantrum there. And then perhaps you're going to be called and told all this. You may not be expecting it. And that leads to a lot of conflict. So the point is, and let me say this now, a very big issue that's happening in society today with our kids is Kids are born in a nuclear family. They hardly get time with their parents to interact because both the parents perhaps may be working very busy or maybe somebody's unwell. The first thing that they get is they get put on a tablet or a phone or a mobile. They hardly get any interaction with people. The first people that we get an interaction with or we learn how to behave with, like I explained, are our parents. So we learn to behave according to what our parents want us to behave, which includes sitting at a particular place, eating in a particular way, speaking a particular language. If you're born in a house where parents speak Telugu, you're going to speak Telugu, not German. So you get adapted. Let me use the word again. You as a child gets adapted to your parents first. That requires a lot of time, nurturing, care, to and fro interaction. Then you go on and you get to see your uncle or an aunt or a chacha or a chachi or a nana, dada, dadi. Now they are a little different from the mother and father. So the child now learns to adapt a little more to then adapt to that chacha, chachi, uncle, aunt, cousin, whoever. Once he is able to even do that, because it requires effort on part of the child to adapt a little more. But remember that the uncle is not too different from the father. Once he is able to interact with the relatives, which relatively is not a very big challenge, then is a time to send him to your neighbor's house. Now, on the floor, whoever you are, you may live in a city like Mumbai, for example, there are 4 flats on the floor. So you may be a Kulkarni, but you have a neighbor who's a Gupta, and then you have a Gonsalves, and then you probably have a Khan. Now, all of them are much different from your relatives as well. Because all the relatives are Kulkarnis and Deshpandis, but these guys are a little different. They are from different communities. So then that's another challenge for the child now to adapt from these guys, the relatives, from the Kulkarnis, to adapt to the Guptas and to the Gonsalveses and to the Khans and to maybe the Shenois. So every time he has a little more that he needs to adapt, but given a lot of time, amount of time spent in the neighbor's house, interacting with them, gradually he's going to learn how to cope with the Guptas and with the Gonsalveses and the Fernandeses and the Shenois and the whoever else. And he's going to learn his adaptability. Now remember, while all this, he's interacting with adults. So though adults will be, saying what they want to do, but they are not going to get hyper or worried if the child doesn't follow. So they are going to be nurturing, they are going to be loving. They want the child to follow the way they are saying, but they are not going to push the child. The mistake we make is, without doing all of this, we directly send the child to a school. Now what happens when the child is used to dealing with the Shenois and the Baligas and the Kulkarnis and the Gonsalveses and the Guptas, the adults, the neighbors, then is the time he develops a rapport or gets along with their kids. So it's a familiar environment, it's not far away from his house, his mother and father are maybe the next flat, he knows Gupta uncle, he knows Shenoi aunt, and then he gets to meet Shenoi's son or Gupta's son. So the kids will then get a more relaxed time to bond. Then, when he knows how to deal with the neighbor's kids, he goes to a school. School is a very, very hostile environment for a child. Because here suddenly he's far away from his house. The school structure looks completely different. It's in a faraway place. The building is different. There are rows of benches. I mean, you don't have rows of benches in your house. And there are different kids, all of whom are from all over the community, all of whom are equally scared to be there, all of whom find it an equally hostile environment. And then you don't have a mother, you don't have a father, you don't have a familiar grandmother, uncle, aunt, or a neighbor. Suddenly, you have this person who's a teacher who's not familiar to you at all. That can get very, very, very scary for a kid. And here, when he goes and tries to talk to the other kid, if the other kid doesn't understand him, it's very threatening for the other kid. And you never know, the other kid might just push your kid. Your kid gets scared, as it is very worried. He's going to push that kid back. Now, please understand that your child can deal with children in the school only and only when he's gone through all these steps. That he's first learned himself how to adapt to the parents, then a little more difficult but adapting to the relatives, the grandparents, the uncle, aunts, then a little more difficult than the relatives, but the neighbors, the adults, who are still able to deal with the child well. So he's able to adapt to them. Then he adapts to the neighbors' kids. Then he's ready to go to an entirely different environment, school kids, and then learn to adapt to those kids. Unfortunately, what is happening in many of the cities as well as the small towns, wherever, And everybody wants a kid to go to a school or a daycare right away and start learning Shakespeare perhaps. Now he's not ready for it because he doesn't know how to deal with this person called a teacher. He doesn't know how to deal with this threatening 40 other kids which are equally scared as him. It's a hostile environment. And then you're going to get these complaints from parents कि आपका बच्चा बैठता नहीं है, he's biting somebody, he's pushing somebody, he's behaving very badly. Perhaps you need a shadow teacher, and then this entire gamut around shadow teachers and all this thing that goes on. I mean, without a child having any abnormality, because our society is now gearing him for abnormality. We are right from the beginning a kid who doesn't know how to adapt to his parents or how to adapt to his uncle or aunt, then to his neighbors, is directly being pushed into a war zone. That's 40 other kids who are equally scared and find themselves in a hostile environment. Now, this is going to create a lot of anxiety, and when you're anxious, you're going to react. So the child is going to push the other kids. He may bite somebody, he may hit somebody, and it's unnecessarily going to create a lot of stress. So again, to cut a long story short, which I thought was very long, but I think it's extremely important for me to have shared this with you because I see it in my practice every day, is the fact that once your kid is a few months old, make sure that there's a lot of interaction with family. By family, I mean familiar. So the family is most familiar to the child because you are familiar. It's like the family, similar. Then a lot of time spent interacting with the neighbors in the neighborhood without you being around to mother him or father him or helicopter around him. And on his own, he's going to pick up all these things. And only then, by the time he's about 2 years old, he's going to be ready for school. So let's not bypass these steps which are very natural development. And you and I have gone through this as kids. And that's why we're able to interact with everybody. That's why Indians are leaders all across the world in CEOs, because we know how to deal with people, because we learned it the old good-fashioned Indian Bharatiya way, Bharatiya Sanskriti, where you go across and you meet everybody from your childhood, the extended families, the neighborhoods. That's what is your real social communication learning. So I wish that some of you would share your opinion about this and we take it. Can we have some questions? Okay, so I'm going to go to some more questions. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take a similar question. नाम नहीं बताया इन्होंने वो कह रहे हैं कि मेरी बेटी 3 साल प्लस इयर्स की है, उसको गुस्सा बहुत जल्दी आ जाता है, किसी भी बात को लेकर गुस्सा आ जाता है और तो अपने आप को भी मारने लगती है. ओके, तो यही मैं भी समझा रहा था कि जब बच्चे 1 साल के बाद 2 साल में जाते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली टेम्पर टेंट्रम्स क्यों आते हैं? क्योंकि दे ट्राई टू कंट्रोल द एनवायरनमेंट. हमने पहले से इनको ये बताया है कि भैया देखो, हर चीज आपके मन से नहीं होगी, ये चीज आपको होगी, ये चीज नहीं होगी. तो 2, 4, 5 महीने में बच्चा समझ जाता है कि भैया यहाँ पे दाल गलने नहीं वाली है, भी मुझे मानना पड़ेगा इनके पास. और ये क्या है? ये अडेप्टेशन है. बच्चा अडेप्ट कर जाता है कि मुझे समाज में हर बात मेरे हिसाब से नहीं होगी, मुझे सीखना होगा, मुझे अपने आप को ढालना होगा, अडेप्ट करना होगा कि दूसरों की भी बात मैं मानूं. तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जो है 3 साल की उम्र तक टेम्पर टेंट्रम्स कम हो जाते हैं. मगर हर बच्चा, हर व्यक्ति तो सेम नहीं होता. किसी बच्चे का टेम्पर बहुत ज्यादा होता है, ज्यादा गुस्से बर्थ से होते हैं, कोई कम होता है. और उसके ऊपर जिस तरीके से आपने पहले दूसरे साल में बच्चे को हैबिट कराई है, उसके हिसाब से या तो गुस्सा और बढ़ जाएगा या बच्चा थोड़ा ठंडा हो जाएगा. बहुत बार होता है कि माँ कहते ट्राई टू डिसिप्लिन द चाइल्ड, मगर घर में कभी इन लॉज होते हैं या कभी डैडी लेट आते हैं काम से, उनको तो लगता है ठीक है मैं थोड़ी देर ही घर पे हूँ बच्चे के साथ, तो हर चीज बच्चे के माननी चाहिए. जैसे मैंने आपको पहले उदाहरण दिया कि कोई कंपनी में अगर दोनों जो बॉसेस है अलग अलग बात कहेंगे तो पूरे एम्प्लॉइज कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे. तो अगर ये इस तरीके से हुआ है तो अभी भी 3 साल के बाद भी बच्चे को लगता है हर चीज मेरे हिसाब से होनी चाहिए. दूसरी बात ऐसी है कि जब मेरे हिसाब से नहीं हो, कम से कम मैं अपनी बात बोल सकूं, मैं समझा सकूं और आप मुझे समझ सके. अगर बच्चे की कम्युनिकेशन में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, अगर बच्चा बता नहीं पा रहा है या आप बच्चे को समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं, आप तुरंत गुस्सा हो रहे हैं या आप तुरंत बच्चे को बैडली रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, तो बच्चा और गुस्सा है. तो हर चीज में देखिए आपका हाथ है, आपकी समझ पे डिपेंड करता है. बच्चे तो एकदम कहते हैं कि दे आर ऑल इनोसेंट. जिस तरीके से हम उन्हें समझेंगे और हम उनको आगे ले जाएंगे, ये जरूरी है. बहुत बार अभी हमको बहुत ही फैड जैसे हो गया कि हम बच्चों के जैसे, दोस्तों के जैसे रहो, बी अ फ्रेंड टू द चाइल्ड. ये बहुत ही बेवकूफी की बात है. बच्चों को फ्रेंड नहीं चाहिए, बच्चों को गाइड चाहिए, मार्गदर्शक चाहिए, जो बताए कहीं कौन सी चीज पे क्या करना है. दोस्त तो फेसबुक पे मेरे 5000 है, कोई काम का नहीं. मगर पेरेंट ऐसा होना चाहिए जो बच्चे को सही क्या और गलत क्या ये बहुत क्लियरली बताए। दोस्तों मैं वही चुनता हूँ जो मेरी हर बात माने, क्योंकि मुझे चॉइस है। लेकिन पेरेंट्स का काम ये है कि हर बात में हाँ नहीं मिलाना है। जो बात बच्चे को सिखानी है वो सिखानी है, और सिखाने के लिए जितने बार आप यस बोलो शायद उससे ज्यादा नो बोलना पड़े, क्योंकि बच्चे को तो पता नहीं, बच्चा तो हर चीज ट्राई करेगा। तो अगर जब हम ये चीज में एक संतुलन रख सकते हैं तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बच्चे का गुस्सा कम होता है। अभी ये बच्चा ऑलरेडी 3 साल के ऊपर है, गुस्सा आ रहा है, अभी आप क्या करेंगे? पहली बात यह है कि आप एक लिस्ट बनाइए मम्मी डैडी बैठ के कि किन किन बातों पे झगड़ा हो रहा है, हमारे और बच्चे के बीच में फसाद के क्या क्या मुद्दे हैं। फिर वो मुद्दे को लेकर आप ट्राई करिए कि वो घटना होने के पहले जिस बात पे बच्चा गुस्सा होता है उसे क्या हम प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं। क्या हम बच्चे को पहले से बता सकते हैं, देखिए आज ये होने वाला है, हम ये करने वाले हैं, आज ये दिन है, आपको ये याद रखना है, ऐसे होगा, प्लीज डोंट रिएक्ट टू इट, हम उसके बाद जो आपकी बात है बाद में मानेंगे। तो ये अगर हम पहले से बच्चे को एक्सप्लेन करें तो बच्चे को अगर माइंड में पहले से हो तो गुस्सा इतना नहीं आएगा। और अगर आप देखते हैं कि 10% भी बच्चा बेटर है तो उसके बाद बच्चे को फीडबैक देना जरूरी है कि देखो आज आपने कितने अच्छे से बिहेव किया, आज आपको गुस्सा इतना नहीं आया, आपने गुस्सा कंट्रोल। क्योंकि जब आप अप्रिशिएट करते हो जो एफर्ट बच्चे ने दिया है उससे बेटर और कोई दवाई नहीं है। तो ये चीजें करने से कम हो सकता है। So I'm going to take a little complicated question from Mrs. Sonali Singh. My 5 months baby wakes up in the middle of the sleep. He smiles, makes movements, but doesn't respond to me. It's like he's in his own world. Then suddenly he cries like he's back to our world, and he again goes back to sleep. This is happening since he was 1.5 months old. Not regularly though, I'm worried. भी देखिए स्लीप जो है स्पेशली इन्फेंट्स की, इसके बारे में हमें बहुत ज्यादा मालूमात नहीं है, और इसलिए ये जो आप किस्सा बता रहे हैं ये कोई प्रॉब्लम है या नहीं ये नहीं बता सकते। लेकिन आपको ये मैं बताऊंगा किस तरीके से आप सोच सकते हो कि प्रॉब्लम है या नहीं है। पहली बात यह है कि आपका 5 महीने का बच्चा जो है, does he do everything else appropriately for a 5-month-old child? By 5 months old, the child should be able to have good, meaningful eye contact, should have a social smile. Of course, आपको पहचानना चाहिए, डैडी अंकल आंटी को पहचानना चाहिए, उनके साथ रिस्पॉन्ड करना चाहिए during the day जब बच्चा when the child is awake. अगर ये सब चीजें नॉर्मल है, अगर दिन में बच्चे को और कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपने what you written that it doesn't respond to me, अगर in the daytime the child doesn't do that any time and only in the middle of the sleep is waking up, then it depends how often is it. If he's doing it once in a month sometimes, that's okay. If he's doing it almost every day or 2-3 times a week, then it's more of a worry. In this, if he smiles, makes noises, makes some movements when he wakes up, that's understandable, because in the waking up process, you can do all of it. And he doesn't respond to me now, that's also okay, because by the time the child's arousal, नींद से बिल्कुल बाहर नहीं आता, he will not respond to you. And then you said it's like he's in his own world, then suddenly he cries. Yes, which means after it's fully aroused, उठने के बाद, then when he is completely awake, he cries back to your world, as you have said, goes back to sleep. So I think this is fine, don't worry about it. But I have not seen the episode. I would suggest record it on a video on your phone and consult your doctor, your neurologist, and show the doctor. Very rarely, let me say it again, very, very rarely, sometimes this could be like an epileptic fit or a seizure, in which perhaps the doctor, after seeing the video, if he really thinks the child is blanked out, is not responding, and it's not because of the sleepiness, it's because of a problem, then they may ask you to do EEG, which is an electroencephalogram, which is like a cardiogram for the brain, to see the electrical activity. But this, let your doctor see the video, see your child, and then answer. If you ask me on basis of what I can read, I don't think you need to worry much. That's fine, you will outgrow this. Okay, another of my favorite questions from Promesh Makade. Hi, my daughter is so ziddy and she denies. Where is it gone? Yeah, where is it gone? Sorry, can you just help me with that question? Yeah, all right. My daughter is so ziddy and she denies to eat lunch and dinner. She likes to eat junk food like pizza, noodles, and Manchurian. So, ठीक है, मेरे भी मुंह में पानी आ रहा है. I like to change that mood. अभी ये जिद्दी अभी one is very important for me to know what is the child's age, because the older the child, we have to look at it differently. And she denies to eat lunch and dinner, but she likes to eat junk food. Now, eating is a behavior. ये समझ लीजिए कोई जेनेटिक बात नहीं है, बिहेवियर है. और जैसा मैंने पहले से बताया आपको, it all depends on how we have trained the child. So when the child was 2.5 years old, at the time when the child was really exploring the boundaries like I answered, and at that time we haven't made these habits very clear to the child कि ये lunch में है मिलेगा, ये dinner में मिलेगा, or throughout. If you haven't kept a pattern, but at that time you encourage her to eat junk food, then it becomes a habit for the child. And once a human being is used to a habit, the person doesn't like to change the habit because it causes grief. It makes the person miserable. I mean, you are used to something, I try to change it, you're not going to like it. So that is why she throws tantrums and she's denying to eat the lunch and dinner. How do you deal with it? You deal with it, again, the old-fashioned way, by making her understand, look, it's not possible. That every time you get junk food is not possible. तो अगर आपको खाना है, तो आपको यही मिलेगा. नहीं खाना है, कोई बात नहीं. अभी होता क्या है, when the child says, no, I won't eat this, we all panic. अच्छा, आपको जो चाहिए खाइए. If mother doesn't panic, maybe the grandmother will panic. अरे आप क्यों कर रहे हो वैसे, बच्चे को खाने दो जो चाहिए. What you are doing is essentially telling the child कि ये ठीक है, आप आपके मन मर्जी से जब जो मन में आए खा सकते हो. अगर आपने ये ट्रेनिंग बच्चे को दिया है और अगर बच्चे को आपने ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिया है कि ये नॉर्मल है, यही होना चाहिए, तो फिर बच्चा क्यों कोई अबनॉर्मल चीज करेगा. तो सोचेगा यही नॉर्मल है, रोना है, नॉर्मल नहीं खाना है, मैं रोऊंगी तो मुझे जंक फूड मिलेगा. ये अगर उसकी सोच है और बन गई है तो यही करेगी. तो ये सोच चेंज करने के लिए आपको बोलना है कि लुक, अब तक हो रहा था ठीक है, अभी आपको नहीं मिलेगा. ये लंच है, ये डिनर है, और घर के तमाम लोगों को यही फॉलो करना है. बच्चा बोलेगा मैं नहीं खाता हूँ, जाओ मत खाओ, आपकी मर्जी, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ मत खाओ, खाने के लिए है, आपको खाना है, यू आर वेरी हैप्पी. अगर आपकी मर्जी है बेटा कि आपको नहीं खाना है, आपकी मर्जी, कोई बात नहीं. बच्चा थोड़ी देर के बाद आके बोलेगा नहीं भूख लगी खाना तो उस समय गुस्सा मत होना, अभी क्यों मांग रहे हो, तभी तो ना बोला आपने, नहीं ये मत करिए. अब बोले ठीक है अभी भूख लगी है, चलो ये ले लो, ये खाओ. कम से कम ये तो हुआ कि बच्चे ने आपकी जो लंच डिनर सर्व की थी वो खा लिया. और मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, बच्चे को ये पता चला कि मेरी ये टेंट्रम्स थ्रो करने से, दादागिरी करने से कुछ नहीं होता. अभी जब बच्चा ये कर रहा है तो आपने भी ये करना चाहिए कि भैया बच्चे की भी ईगो का ख्याल रखिए. तो जब आप रोज आप पनीर पालक खिलाएंगे बच्चे को तो कोई नहीं खाएगा. तो आपको इतना पूछना चाहिए कि बेटा चलो हम जब डिस्कस या प्लान कर रहे हैं कि हफ्ते में क्या क्या सब्जी बनेगी, कम से कम पूछ लीजिए बच्चे को एक बार. अगर बच्चे को भिंडी पसंद है तो रोज रोज भिंडी मत बनाइए, एक दिन कुछ और बनाइए. तो बच्चे को कम से कम लगता है कि मेरी राय तो पूछी जा रही है, चलो हफ्ते में कम से कम 3 दिन मुझे जो पसंद है वो भी बनाया जाता है. और अगर बच्चे को पिज्जा बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है तो ये बोल सकते हैं भैया 6 दिन हमको घर खाना है, 7वें दिन संडे के दिन कहीं हम बाहर जाके पिज्जा खा सकते हैं. तो इसमें क्या होता है, ये जो हम डेमोक्रेसी दिल भी रख रहे हैं, उसकी ओपिनियन पूछ रहे हैं, हाँ, लेकिन डिसीजन आप सब मिलके एंड में ले रहे हैं. रिमेंबर वन चीज, डिसीजन करता या डिसीजन लेने वाला व्यक्ति मम्मी या डैडी होनी चाहिए, बच्चा नहीं. लेकिन बच्चे की ओपिनियन जरूर पूछनी चाहिए और वो आपको इंक्लूड करनी चाहिए. मगर बच्चे को नहीं लगना चाहिए कि डिसीजन मेकर बच्चा है, क्योंकि दैट्स जैसे छोटे बच्चे के हाथ में तलवार देने के बराबर, तो वो मत करिए. Asta Gupta is asking that my baby is 6 months old and she doesn't roll over frequently. Her weight is 6 kilos and her birth weight was 3 kilos. तो चलिए कम से कम weight तो perfect है आपका, 6 महीने में डबल हो चुका है weight, so that's perfect. And it doesn't mean that she's overweight. Very often children who are overweight find it difficult to roll over frequently. लेकिन आपके सवाल में जो word आपने which you have used is frequently. I don't know what do you mean by frequently. So does she do it a few times in the day? Then that's fine. What's more important, is she doing it more frequently than what she was doing 2 weeks back? Is she getting better? So if she's getting better and she's rolling over better and better and better, then we are fine. तो ये बात याद रखिए, डेवलपमेंट इज नेवर अ वन पॉइंट चेकलिस्ट। डेवलपमेंट इज अ रेंज, डेवलपमेंट इज अ प्रोसेस, ये वर्ड याद रखिए। डेवलपमेंट जो विकास है एक प्रोसेस है, कोई एक दिन नहीं कि एक ही दिन पे कुछ होना चाहिए। तो आप जब कंपेयर करते हैं तो आपके बच्चे को दूसरे बच्चों से कंपेयर करना ये एक बात है, मगर उसी बच्चे को उसी बच्चे से कंपेयर करिए कि पिछले हफ्ते ये दिन में सिर्फ 3 बार रोल ओवर हो रहा था, अभी इस हफ्ते 4-5 बार हो रहा है, ठीक है, और अगले हफ्ते देखेंगे और थोड़ा इंप्रूवमेंट है या नहीं। उसी के साथ साथ रोलिंग ओवर ये एक जरिया है या एक इशू है। गर्दन संभाल रहा है बच्चा, इज शी होल्डिंग हर ओन हेड, इज हेड होल्डिंग गेटिंग बेटर, इज शी लुकिंग एट यू, रिकॉग्नाइजिंग यू, स्माइलिंग। अगर ये सब तमाम चीजें सब ठीक है तो फिर रोलिंग ओवर फ्रीक्वेंटली जो हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है वो भी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता फ्रीक्वेंटली हो जाएगा। जस्ट कीप अ वॉच। मगर आपको लगता है कि और एरियाज में भी प्रॉब्लम है और पहले ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंट था रोलिंग ओवर, अब कम हो रहा है, जाहिर सी बात है कि फिर आपको डॉक्टर को ओपिनियन देना पड़ेगा। तो आपके जो पीडियाट्रिशियन है उनसे आपकी जो समस्या है या जो डाउट है आप डिस्कस करिए। हम हमारे इंडियन एकेडमी ऑफ पीडियाट्रिक्स के थ्रू हम सब पीडियाट्रिशियंस का ट्रेनिंग बार बार करते रहते हैं, वो आपको सही हल बता देंगे। ओके, माय डॉटर्स एज, सुजीत दी साहब पूछ रहे हैं, माय डॉटर्स एज इज 16 months, शी डजंट वांट टू ईट, ओनली वांट मदर्स मिल्क, कैन सजेस्ट सिरप फॉर हंगर। भैया पहली बात सुन लीजिए, ऐसा कोई हंगर वाला सिरप दुनिया में किसी ने नहीं बनाया। तो सबसे पहले सुन लीजिए, बहुत सा एडवर्टाइजमेंट आप देखते होंगे लेकिन ऐसा कोई सिरप नहीं है जो हंगर के लिए बना है। हंगर ये एक नैसर्गिक चीज है और अगर आपको मैं ये बताना चाहूंगा कि हंगर के लिए सिरप की जरूरत नहीं है, मौके की जरूरत है। मैं फिर से कहता हूँ, सिरप हंगर के लिए, भूख के लिए सिरप की जरूरत नहीं है, मौके की जरूरत है। क्या आपके बच्चे को भूख लगने का मौका कभी आया है या आप टाइम टू टाइम बच्चे को भूख लगने के पहले ही खिला रहे हैं? अगर आपकी हैबिट यह है कि पिछले 16 महीने से आप बच्चे को बार बार उसको भूख लगे के बगैर खिला रहे हो तो उसे पता ही नहीं है कि भूख क्या होती है, तो व्हाई विल शी एक्सप्रेस हंगर एंड आस्क फॉर समथिंग? हाँ, द अदर थिंग इज शी ओनली वांट मदर्स मिल्क। अभी मदर्स मिल्क हमारा जो रिकमेंडेशन है इंडियन एकेडमी ऑफ पीडियाट्रिक्स का कि पहले 2 साल ब्रेस्ट मिल्क शुड बी कंटिन्यू। पहले 6 महीने केवल सिर्फ ब्रेस्ट मिल्क मतलब माँ का दूध ही पिलाना चाहिए। 6 महीने के बाद आप जो घर की चीजें हैं उसको आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ऐड करिए, जिसको हम वीनिंग कहते हैं। उसका हिंदी का शब्द ध्यान में नहीं आ रहा है, मगर 6 महीने के बाद हम दूसरे ऊपर का खाना जिसको कहते हैं स्टार्ट करते हैं और माँ का दूध भी जो है चालू रहता है। और आहिस्ता आहिस्ता 18-19 महीने के बाद हम देखते हैं कि जब बच्चे का पेट सॉलिड सेमी सॉलिड चीजों से भर रहा है तो दूध की तरफ नहीं जाएगा। दूध में ज्यादा लिक्विड है, उसमें ज्यादा इतने कैलोरीज नहीं है जो सॉलिड फूड में है। तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आप ऐसा करिए कि मदर का मिल्क दिन में जो आप दे रहे हैं उसका गैप बढ़ाइए। बहुत बार हमने ये भी कहा है कि कभी एक आध दिन मम्मी को आप दूसरे कमरे में सोने के लिए बच्चे को आपके साथ अलग से सुला दीजिए, कहीं मम्मी को एक दिन घर मायके भेज दीजिए, तो थोड़ा वो गैप आने से बच्चा भूल जाता है और बच्चा कैरी ऑन करता है एंड देन सडनली रियलाइज आई कैन डू विदाउट। सो ग्रेजुअली आपको ये कम करना है, मगर मेन मुद्दा है कि उसको दूसरी चीजें खाने के लिए उसको भूख लगने दीजिए, भूख के लिए मांगने दीजिए। जब बच्चे को समझ में आता है कि जब पेट में ये फीलिंग आती है तब खाना चाहिए, खाने के बाद जो फीलिंग अनकंफर्टेबल वाली सी थी वो अभी चली गई, अभी तृप्त लग रहा है, अच्छा लग रहा है। दैट्स हाउ द चाइल्ड अंडरस्टैंड्स रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन हंगर एंड ईटिंग। बहुत बार हम इतना बच्चे का केयर, ज्यादा ओवर केयर करते हैं कि बच्चे को ये मौका ही नहीं मिलता कि हंगर क्या है सीखने का। तो ये ध्यान रखिए। अच्छा, ये स्वाति सोनी जी का प्रश्न है, मेरा बेबी 2 months का है, मैं उसके इम्यूनिटी पावर को बढ़ाने के लिए अपने डाइट के लिए क्या लूं? तो हर चाइल्ड इज अबाउट 2 months old बट शी वांट्स टू इंक्रीज द चाइल्ड्स इम्यूनिटी पावर। तो ये भी बात सुन लीजिए, ऐसे कोई इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने वाला टॉनिक सिरप वगैरह नहीं है, कोई नहीं। और बच्चे की इम्यूनिटी 99% परफेक्ट है, कोई भी इम्यूनिटी न होने की वजह है नहीं। अब 1% जो मैं कह रहा हूँ पॉसिबिलिटी है कि इम्यूनिटी कम है, ये कब हो सकती है? अगर उस इंसान को डायबिटीज है तो उस इंसान की इम्यूनिटी कम होती है। अगर उस इंसान को बहुत बड़ी कोई जानलेवा सीरियस HIV जैसी डिजीज है जिसमें उसकी इम्यून सिस्टम कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो उसकी इम्यूनिटी कम है। अगर वो व्यक्ति मैल नरिश्ड है, कुपोषण, अब ये बहुत जरूरी मुद्दा है, शायद ये मुझे पहले बोलना था, कुपोषण बच्चों की इम्यूनिटी कम होती है क्योंकि बॉडी में ताकत ही नहीं है, तो आपकी बॉडी वीक है तो बॉडी में मिलिट्री कहाँ से बनेगी? तो आपका जो सवाल है कि मैं बच्चे के इम्यूनिटी के लिए क्या खाऊं, तो मेरी राय आपको ये है कि आप पौष्टिक आहार का क्या मतलब है कि अलग अलग टाइप के जो फूड आइटम्स है आप हर आइटम थोड़ा 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 खा लीजिए। अभी इसमें एक मैं मुद्दा बताना चाहता हूँ कि जो लोग नॉन वेजिटेरियन है, जो मांसाहारी है, उनको एक स्लाइट एडवांटेज है कि एक मांसाहारी प्रोडक्ट में काफी सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स ऑलरेडी रेडीमेड होते हैं। जैसे एग है, एग के अंदर ऑलरेडी काफी सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स मौजूद हैं। उसमें से बहुत से विटामिन हमें साइंटिफिकली साइंस के हिसाब से आज पता है, विटामिन ए है, विटामिन डी नाम हमें पता है, ये सब चीजें हमें पता है। मगर हमें पता होने के पहले भी निसर्ग में ये चीजें मौजूद थी, नेचर में मौजूद थी। और ऐसी कई चीजें हैं, विटामिन है, जो अगले 50, 30, 40 साल के बाद हम साइंटिफिकली पहचानेंगे, मगर वो ऑलरेडी नेचुरल फूड में मौजूद है। तो अब अगर हर न्यूट्रिएंट्स जो हम जानते हैं, नहीं जानते, वो अगर पेट में जाने चाहिए, तो अलग अलग चीजें हमको पेट में हमको खानी चाहिए। तो स्पेशली जब हम शाकाहारी हैं, हम सिर्फ दिन में एक सब्जी 10 बार खाएंगे, तो उस सब्जी में जो मौजूद न्यूट्रिएंट्स है वो हमारे शरीर में जाएंगे और जरूरत से ज्यादा जाएंगे, उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है। मगर हो सकता है भिंडी में कोई विटामिन अलग है, हो सकता है गाजर में अलग विटामिन है, तो हम भिंडी भी खाएंगे, थोड़ा सा गाजर भी खाएंगे, तब दोनों टाइप के विटामिन हमारे शरीर में जाएंगे। तो हमको ये ध्यान रखना है, खासकर जो शाकाहारी हैं, कि उन्हें जितने अलग अलग सब्जियां, जितने अलग अलग फ्रूट्स खाएं उतना बेहतर है, क्योंकि हर चीज में अलग अलग विटामिन उनके शरीर में जाने की जरूरत है। और अगर आप ये खा रहे हैं, आपकी सेहत ठीक है, तो निश्चिंत रहिए कि आपके बच्चे की भी इम्यूनिटी और सेहत बहुत अच्छी होगी। अच्छा, दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन। तो स्वाति जी पूछ रही है, मेरी बेटी 4 मंथ्स की है, 4 महीने की है, उसके सर के ऊपर बाल कम है, क्या करना चाहिए? कुछ मत करिए। 4 महीने कोई टाइम है कि आप बच्चे के बालों के बारे में आप ध्यान दें। ये सब काया, त्वचा, इसके जो एडवर्टीजमेंट सब जगह हम देख रहे हैं, 24 आवर्स ये एडवर्टीजमेंट देख रहे हैं, ब्यूटीफुल स्किन, ब्यूटीफुल हेयर, लॉन्ग हेयर, ये सब जो चीज़ें हो रहे हैं, उसकी वजह से हमारे माइंड में डाउट्स आना पॉसिबल है। आई कैन एश्योर यू, आपके बेटी के बहुत लंबे घने अच्छे बाल होंगे और वो आगे चल के मिस इंडिया में कॉन्टेस्ट में भी जा पाएंगे। आप निश्चिंत रहिए और इस टेंशन में आपके बाल मत गिरने दीजिए, इतना याद रखिए। एक निधि जी का सवाल है, मेरी बेबी 7 मंथ्स की है और उसका वेट 4.5 किलो है, 7 मंथ विद 4.5 किलोज, उसके वेट गेनिंग का कोई सोल्यूशन बताइए प्लीज। देखिए निधि जी, सबसे पहले आप ये बताइए मुझे, आपके बच्चे की बर्थ वेट क्या थी? आपका बच्चा 9 महीने में पूरा पैदा हुआ था या प्रीटर्म बेबी है? क्योंकि अगर आपका बच्चा प्रीटर्म बेबी है और अगर उसका वेट कम था, तो फिर आप वेट गेन इतने तेजी से नहीं होगा जिस बच्चे का फुल टर्म 9 महीने में डिलीवरी हुई है, जिसकी बर्थ वेट ज्यादा थी। तो आप 7 मंथ्स का आपका बच्चा है, सबसे जरूरी ये जानना जरूरी है कि बर्थ वेट क्या था बच्चे का। और आपको एक फॉर्मूला बता देता हूँ कि जो बर्थ वेट है, जो जन्म के समय का वजन है, वो 6 महीने में डबल होना चाहिए और 1 साल में पहले बर्थडे में ट्रिपल होना चाहिए। तो अगर बच्चे के बर्थ में वजन 3 किलो है, तो जनरली 6 महीने में 6 किलो होना चाहिए और 1 साल में 9, 9.5 किलो होना चाहिए। अगर इतना वेट इस हिसाब से जा रहा है तो वजन ठीक है। लेकिन उसके साथ साथ दूसरी भी चीजें, जैसे आपको मैंने बिगिनिंग में बताया, ग्रोथ एक इशू है और डेवलपमेंट एक अलग बात है। ग्रोथ मतलब वजन बढ़ना, साइज बढ़ना, बच्चे की हाइट बढ़ना, और डेवलपमेंट मतलब दिमाग का विकास होना और बच्चे अलग अलग स्किल सीखना। अगर बच्चे ब्रेन से जो स्किल सीखने हैं, जैसे आपने कहा 6 महीने का, अगर 7 मंथ्स का, अगर आपका बच्चा 7 मंथ्स का है, अगर बच्चा पूरे 9 महीने में पैदा हुआ था, बर्थ वेट उसका अच्छा था, 7 महीने में क्या बच्चा आपको पहचान रहा है? क्या आपसे नजर मिला के स्माइल करता है? क्या आपको पहचान के खुश होता है? क्या उसकी समझ अच्छी है? क्या गर्दन संभालने लगा है? क्या अभी पलटी होने लगा है? थोड़ा पकड़ के बैठने की कोशिश कर रहा है? मतलब उसका डेवलपमेंट जो है वो परफेक्ट है, बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है। तो हो सकता है कि वेट थोड़ा बर्थ में कम था, इसलिए गेन होने में कम था, मगर वेट भी कम है बच्चे का बर्थ रेट ज़्यादा था लेकिन बढ़ नहीं रहा है, डेवलपमेंट भी स्लो है, अगर ऐसे आपको तमाम इश्यूज हैं तो आपको डॉक्टर को दिखाना चाहिए। दूसरी बात है, बच्चे को फीडिंग क्या कर रहे हैं। 6 महीने तक जैसे मैंने कहा माँ का दूध देना सिर्फ ज़रूरी है, केवल माँ का दूध देना चाहिए। मगर 5.5-6 महीने के बाद आप आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ऊपर का टॉप फीडिंग स्टार्ट करिए। अगर आप बेबी के लिए स्टार्ट नहीं किए हो, अभी आप स्टार्ट करिए, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बच्चा वेट गेन करेगा। 7 मंथ्स का होने के बाद 4.8 किलो है। तो आप सब पेरेंट्स के लिए मेरा ये एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं। बर्थ वेट 2.8 किलो था, 7 मंथ्स में 4.8। तो हमने क्या फॉर्मूला बताया, बर्थ वेट मंथ, तो 2.8 का आप मिसाल के तौर पे देखेंगे तो 5.6 किलो या 5.5 किलो या 6 किलो या 5 और 6 किलो के बीच में होना चाहिए। तो अगर आप मुझे ये कहेंगे तो 4.8 में कहूँगा हाँ थोड़ा सा वजन कम है, मगर आगे सुनिए क्या बताएंगे। वो प्रीटर्म बेबी नहीं है, सो देन आई एम इवन मोर वरीड कि प्रीटर्म बेबी नहीं है, उसका ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट अच्छा हो रहा है, नाउ आई एम हैप्पी। ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट मैडम ने बताया, जो मैंने बताया उसके हिसाब से ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट अच्छा हो रहा है। तो अगर कोई बड़ी बीमारी होती, अगर बहुत कुपोषण होता जिससे बच्चे का वजन नहीं बढ़ रहा है, ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट भी नहीं होता। तो बहुत अच्छी बात है कि आपके बच्चा प्रीटर्म नहीं है, बर्थ वेट 2.8 था, ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट अच्छा हो रहा है। बर्थ वेट के हिसाब से आज का वेट जो है 7 महीने में थोड़ा कम है, कोई बात नहीं, आप फीडिंग थोड़ा सा स्टार्ट करिए, वीनिंग फूड जिसको कहते हैं, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री फूड इंट्रोड्यूस करिए। मिल्क जो है मदर का मिल्क ठीक है, ऊपर से मिल्क देने के बजाय आप दूसरे पदार्थ दे दीजिए, या आप शायद बहुत ज्यादा डाइल्यूट मिल्क दे रहे हैं तो डाइल्यूट मिल्क मत दीजिए, क्योंकि मिल्क में आप देखिए 90% तो पानी होता है, पानी में कोई कैलोरीज प्रोटीन्स विटामिन होते नहीं। तो आप सेमी सॉलिड फूड ज्यादा दे दीजिए, आप ऐसी चीजें दीजिए जिससे बच्चे के बॉडी में एनर्जी ज्यादा जाएगी और बच्चे का वेट गेन जरूर होगा। आप देखिए कि क्या पैटर्न से बढ़ रहा है, हर मंथ अच्छे से बढ़ रहा है, वो एक ग्रोथ चार्ट होता है, आपके पीडियाट्रिशियन ने या गवर्नमेंट से आपको चार्ट मिला होगा, अगर वो चार्ट के अनुसार बच्चा उसी लेवल में जा रहा है तो कोई बात मत, वरी मत कीजिए। एक लास्ट चीज मैं बताऊंगा, हर बच्चे की एक ट्रैजेक्टरी होती है, एक ट्रैक होता है। अगर इस बच्चे का ट्रैक 2.8 किलो के बाद 4.8 है और उसी ट्रैक पे बच्चा चलना चाहिए, आप इस बच्चे को डायरेक्ट 7.5 किलो का करने जाएंगे तो ये बच्चे के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। उसकी जो ट्रेजेक्ट्री है, जेनेटिक ट्रेजेक्ट्री है, उसको आप मेंटेन करिए। तो इसको आप दूसरों से मत कंपेयर करिए, मगर इसका खुद का डेवलपमेंट कैसा है और खुद का ग्रोथ कैसे मैचअप हो रहा है ये कंपेयर करिए। मैंने कोई स्पीच के अब तक सवाल लिए नहीं, जो मेरा फेवरेट टॉपिक है, मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ उसके बारे में कुछ सवाल है। ये एक सवाल मैं लेता हूँ, which I discuss with many of my patients also. Vipasha Jain wants to know, hello doctor, my daughter is close to 11 months now. 11 months की बेटी इनकी, what are the developmental activities we can do with her, toys or books? So now this is something which I want to tell you very specifically. What are the developmental activities we can do with her? Understand that various facilities of the child are developing at this time. So there is physical or motor development. So the child is sitting, standing, walking. This is a motor development that's happening. At the same time, the child's intelligence is increasing. She's learning to interact with you. She's observing your behavior. She's trying to copy your behavior. She's trying to understand your signs. When you do this, it means you're going away. When you do this, you want her to come to you. She's understanding your non-verbal language. Then she will start giving her own non-verbal communication by doing this to you, by doing this to you. So she's expressing her language, non-verbal language to you. Then gradually, as she grows to 12 months, 1 year, she will start understanding your words. When you say, Mama kahan hai? She will look at Mama. When you say, show me your tongue, she will show you her tongue. So she's understanding your speech and she's following it in her actions. But gradually now she will also start developing the speech. So these are the development that is going on normally. Now, how do you make it go better? Remember, the most important attachment that the child has at this point of time, or association the time a child has, is with you. So the more time you spend with this child face to face is, according to me, the best toy or the best book possible. But if you spend time with her when you're in the same room, daddy is on the tablet, mother is on the laptop, and the child is on her own tablet or mobile phone, you are not spending time with her. She is spending time with her electronic gadget. Also, if there is a toy, let's take example of a ball. If you are busy cooking, for example, the dad is busy doing his own work, and the child is just playing with the blocks. Then again, the child is playing with a toy, but the child is not engaging in the social communication domain with you. She is in her own world. So, आपने टॉय तो उसको दे दिया, ब्लॉक्स तो दे दिए, मगर वो ब्लॉक से हो सकता है फिंगर मूवमेंट जो है, फाइन मोटर कोऑर्डिनेशन थोड़ा डेवलप हो रहा है, मगर इंटेलिजेंस नहीं डेवलप हो रहा है. इंटेलिजेंस डेवलप करने के लिए आपको उसके साथ संपर्क, जिसको कहते हैं मराठी तभी म्हणतो थेट संपर्क साधा, मीन्स फेस टू फेस कॉन्टैक्ट और फेस टू फेस इंटरेक्शन होना चाहिए. योर चाइल्ड शुड बी फेसिंग यू एंड यू शुड बी फेसिंग द चाइल्ड. बच्चा जब अकेला है तब बच्चा डेवलप नहीं हो रहा है. जब बच्चा सो रहा है केवल उस वक्त बच्चे को अकेला होना चाहिए. जब बच्चा अवेक है, उसका सबसे बेस्ट टॉय, सबसे इंटेलिजेंट टॉय, सबसे मोस्ट डेवलपमेंटल इंटेलेक्चुअल स्टिमुलेटिंग टॉय ऊपर वाले ने पहले ही भेजा है, और वो है आप. आपसे बेहतर टॉय, आपसे बेहतर बुक, आपसे बेहतर डेवलपमेंटल या एजुकेशनल रिसोर्स बच्चे के लिए नहीं हो सकता है. आपको बच्चे के साथ बात करना है, एंजॉय करना है, हक करना है, किस करना है, कडल करना है, टीज करना है, टिकल करना है, अलग अलग चेहरे बनाने हैं, फनी फेस बनाना है, जोकर के जैसे बनना है. जितना आप बच्चे से हंसी मजाक करेंगे, ये सब फिजिकल मजाक की चीजें करेंगे, बच्चा विल लुक मोर एंड मोर एंड मोर एट यू एंड विल डेवलप इट. तो मेरा एक बहुत जरूरी आपको मैसेज है कि टॉयज आर नॉट एट ऑल इम्पोर्टेंट. लैपटॉप तो बहुत परेशानी है. आई से द बेस्ट toy for the child is not, or the best developmental tool for the child is not the laptop, but your own lap. आप गोद में लेके बच्चे के साथ खेलिए. Your lap is much more important than any laptop in the world. So involving the child with what you do. Now you can't play with the child all day. You have to cook food, for example. Do you involve the child with that? Are you going to show the child ये peas है, ये को मैं ये कर रही हूँ? Child at 11 months may not be able to do it. He may not be able to open the peas. He may just end up crushing it. So what? Give it to him. Let him see what you're doing. Involve him with your activities or her with your activities. He has to know how humans live. How humans live with each other. Why they smile at each other. Why they involve each other. She has to see that. She doesn't have to know how a computer works. वो तो बाद में भी सीख सकती है. She doesn't need to know how a mobile phone works or an app works. She needs to know how my father smiles at my mother. How my father may not smile at my mother one particular day. How my mother may not be very happy with my dad one particular day, the other day she is very happy. All these are normal human behaviors which the child needs to know, because all humans are flexible. We don't do the same thing every day. We are not a machine. The child who's only playing with a machine, a toy is a machine, remember that. A child who's playing with a machine thinks or starts believing that everything has to be in a particular order. Whereas a child who's with humans will learn that every human behaves differently throughout the day. And she will learn to accept that, appreciate that, and deal when the mother's mood changes, father's mood changes over a period of time. So all of this is much more important than learning to read or learning to use a book or a toy. So my very, very frank suggestion is, let's go back to the old-fashioned days where we spent a lot of time with the child. Let's look at the other way around. The child got a lot of time with us. It may not be only the mother. I mean, against just pressurizing the poor mother who has 500 things to do. She's a daughter-in-law, she's a wife, she's a mother, she works, she may be the CEO somewhere. Too much pressure, yeah. Let her be. How else, how many other people can all interact with the child, play with the child? Or for example, I may speak Marathi, or my neighbor's child may be speaking Gujarati. When it comes to me, I will speak in Marathi. He may not understand it right away. But the child gets stimulated to hear Gujarati and Marathi as well. We involve the child ourselves. It doesn't matter who the person is. Any person, however uneducated, is better than a toy, because he's a human being. He's going to have human behavior. A toy is going to have mechanical behavior. I'm seeing so many children now with autism, and that's my subject that I work with. Many of them have got worse because they anyway had a problem interacting with humans. On top of that, they got these gadgets. So 50 years back, 40 years back, the parents who had the same genes of autism did not become autistic because they got all this family support at home, which is typically what is the beauty of our country, our India, where different kind of people are around. Everybody wants to 20, 30, 40 years back, the parents, though they had the same genes, they got so much of stimulation and interaction that they learned to cope or focus more on humans. But then when their children are born today with those genes, they have a problem learning human behavior or human communication. And now they're getting a mobile phone or a pad or a tablet throughout the day. It's making their mechanical behavior worse and making their human behavior less and mechanical behavior more. That's why we are seeing so many more children with autism. So I'm sure your child doesn't have that problem. But what I'm trying to say is that for every child, it's very important for us to be the toy. We are the best developmental resource for the child, a human being. So spend time with the child. If you use a toy, use it to interact with the child. So I ask parents an example. When your child plays with a ball, is he throwing the ball at you and catching it back? Then is he playing with you or with the ball? Of course, he's playing with us because he's throwing the ball to me and throwing it back to me. When your child is sitting in a corner, bouncing the ball off the wall, whom is he playing with? He's playing with the ball and the ball. That's a problem. We don't want to use objects in themselves as an end. If at all we have to use a toy, it has to be used for playing with each other. That is the kind of toy you want. If you are using a book, use it to read it to each other. Look in the book, tell the mother. Look, point there, tell the mother. That is the point. Use objects to increase our interaction with the child and not to keep the child away interacting only with the object, cutting away the humans. So that's my answer. I believe we've come to the end of the program. It's almost about 1:40. So it's been an amazing time as usual chatting with all of you. And I really enjoy doing this. Probably it shows on my face. So I'm very happy and thankful to BabyChakra and my friends here from BabyChakra. So thank you. And of course, thank you to all the parents. If I have not answered your questions, many of you have left questions behind. Please feel free to write to BabyChakra or you could email me. My email ID is SAMYR. I spell Samir with a Y, SAMYR DALWAI. That is Samir Dalwai @gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook or my website is enablemychild.org. And you could tag me on BabyChakra. That's where I am. That's an easy thing for you. Just go to BabyChakra app and you can tag me there. Feel free to ask me any kind of questions. I love discussing and sharing whatever I can. So thank you very much and it's been a pleasure to meet all of you. Bye-bye.